Hello and welcome to the Gamescast, and welcome to FSX, and welcome to a slightly different video. The reason this is different, not only am I in a different plane, but I'm going to show you some of the tools I use to get from A to B, especially in these default aircrafts. When you've got a PMDG, I still use this tool, but not to its full effect. So yeah, pretty much I'm doing a flight from here, East Midlands Airport, to Brussels, EBBR. So we're going from Echo Golf November X-Ray, and we're going to Echo Echo Bravo Bravo Romeo. So yes, it should be quite a good flight, and quite fun. Now I'm going to use a couple of things. Now this is actually the UK 2000 scenery airport for East Midlands, which is a relatively local airport to me. You can see a car parking there. Let's see what car parking space he opts to choose, or either that, or maybe he is actually just simply driving out of the car park. Fascinating footage here. Oh my god, that's actually a smooth turn. Wow. Okay, right, sorry, I got kind of engrossed, so I'm going to keep focused on that car. But yeah, we are in the UK 2000 East Midlands Airport, which is possibly the most detailed airport I have ever seen. It is a very good airport. So yeah, it's a very, very nice airport indeed. Oh, he looks like he's just going out of the airport now. How exciting. So currently I've spent 1 minute, almost 2 minutes, talking about a car when we are in Flight Simulator 10. This is actually the Steam Edition version. It's a Learjet 45. Yeah, so let me show you one of the things I am going to be using. Now, oh, whoops, I don't want this up, sorry about that. Right, so this is Flight Sim Commander. Now, you can't hear any sound at the moment, guys, by the way, so just if you were wondering, let's zoom in right on my airplane first. Again, we want to zoom a little bit more. That's pretty good. We'll just go like that. Right. So, let's just zoom out by one. Right. So, here we are, East Midlands Airport. We are actually going to take the, the Delta Papa Lima 2 Papa SID. So, yeah, that's the SID we're going to be taking. And yeah, we're just going to go from runway 9. Is that 9 right? No, it's just runway 9, because there's no left or right here. There's only one runway. Why did I say that? It's a very small airport, but a relatively busy airport. Quite a lot of planes come in and out of this airport per day. We shouldn't have any issues online at the moment. There's no ATC or anything. You can see it's a perfectly clear day, and if I look out my window, it's also very much the same. There's actually no clouds. There was clouds earlier on, but they've obviously cleared up a little bit. Well, you can just see absolutely phenomenal scenery. Just amazing scenery. It really is next level. Oh no, why am I'm clicking on Flight Simulator. Sorry about that, guys. I'm not used to showing you guys two different screens. So you can see this is what we're going to be doing. That's the line I did take, and then I realised actually I kind of messed up a little bit. So yeah, this is our first SID, if you like, or our first main SID, I guess. I don't know what you would actually call it. That sort of puts us very much on a route, on a correct route. Right, anyway, enough about that. We are going to zoom in a touch, and we are going to start to taxi. So we're going to go off to the left on taxi, and yeah, so let's get into the airplane. Another tool I'm using is this even. Now this is the how I'm going to be using this plane for autopilot, etc. This is what I'm using. Right, let me just set up the autopilot to check that all my speeds and stuff are good. So no, at the moment everything's on zero. It's like a cold and dark, if you like, but we're not actually doing a cold and dark. Altitude is going to be 6,000. That is our initial altitude, or transition even. Pretty much is for the whole of the UK actually. Then you've got some really strange ones, like I know Amsterdam, that's got a transition of a 3000, which is very straight. 3000, which is extremely strange. That's not very normal. Now, we're going to click on GPS. We haven't got anything set up, so it makes very little difference. We don't know what runway we're taking yet. We are going to be on 28.2 though. No, 22.8. 22.8, which is Unicom on that sim. Any of you interested? That's what I'm using. Is it this one here? I think it is. Just check. Yeah, I am on TeamSpeak. Am I connected? Yes, I think I am. Good. So I am connected. I've already said what. In fact, I need to put it again though. So starting. So I put that I'm starting pushback. I'm Speedbird 1992, which is, I don't know why I like that number, but I just do. Right. So let's start with pushback. Pushback. So we've started for pushback. I believe I've got everything set up. And we are going to start the turnabout now. Now there is some issues with the turning on what's it, Majigi Iveo. However, this is doing a very good job, which is nice. It's doing a constant turn. Normally it does a retarded one. Oh, look at that, that's just perfect. Could have turned a little bit earlier, and we're now going to stop so we don't crash into something. Right. So, I believe everything's set up. I'm just going to double check. So, yeah, that's fine. We are actually doing a heading of 86. Not that it makes any difference. I'm just going to put it like that to make sure that it does the right thing. Also, I know if it's going wrong or not, because I've never really flown this airplane before. Flaps are going to be 5. There we go. There's only like... Okay, we put on setting number 2. There's only 3 settings, so we'll have to do. Speed's 240, yeah. Altitude is 6,000. Vertical speed is going to be 1,800. Right, so let's get on with it and start taxiing. So, yeah, you'll get to see some of the more nice scenery. All the really nice scenery is actually over there. This is, how would I explain it? This is, the whole airport looks phenomenal, but this is there's a really nice bit of the airport which is actually on the other side, as it just so happens. It's over, but it's actually on this bit here. So we're on this bit, the general aviation side. That's more that side is for like the bigger aircrafts. You will see some DHL aircrafts, I suspect, down there, or something. Might not necessarily be DHL. Don't want to go too much faster than 25 knots. We're going to cross this one and the next taxiway. So we're not going to... You don't need to hold short, even though it tells us to hold short, because I know there is no aircrafts coming currently. I'm just going to turn here. I make a little bit of a mistake. Look at the map. I was just looking at the map and I sort of messed up because it's got 2 little taxiways which are really close to each other. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It's not the end of the world. We won't get flagged up on it. We just need to be a little bit more careful. And now this is because this is although it's a jet aircraft. You have to be careful because can get very uneven. Oh, ambulance is waiting for us. you get very uneven like thrust. If you just go straight to max, you will get extremely uneven thrust. So yeah, you just gotta watch out for that. Just gonna it'll start veering left and right on takeoff. And I'm gonna turn right on this one. We're gonna turn right on the next one. Even though I slowed down, I just didn't want the aircraft to veer off left or right as I was taxiing. You'll probably hear the sound stop just for a second. So I just zoom out on the FMC. We won't need to hold short yet, but we will when we actually get to the runway now. The wheels pretty much the same, just behind where I'm sitting, so I need to be a bit more careful and don't need to hold short. On this line, it's this second line here where I am going to hold short. Just take the power down, use some brakes, and very gently cruise to the thing as I put my parking brake on, like so. There are no airplanes approaching us. Yeah, let me just check my TCAS just to make sure that there's some out of my vision. Nope, it looks like there is no aircraft within a 40-mile radius, meaning we are safe to start to taxi. Put the engines on about 50%. So I'm going to let this. What I'm going to do for takeoff, very easy. Just going to let the engine stabilise. I'm going to manually fly it. I'm not using my SARTEC flight yoke. I'm using my Thrustmaster joystick. I've sent it back to SARTEC, and they're actually replacing it because I had an issue with it. Actually, I had an issue with the throttle quadrant, but they wanted the whole thing back, and they very kindly said that they would replace the whole thing. So thank you to SARTEC for that. But anyway, I am using my Thrustmaster joystick, so it's not as smooth as perhaps normal. Going to let it stabilise. I'm not going to show you what happens if you just stick it straight to full, because I'll end up going miles off the runway. Just slowly edge it forwards. It's pretty stable now. I can put it onto full thrust. Gently. Going to use the rudder, or continuously using the rudder, just to try and make sure it's relatively stable. Trying to keep it into the centre line. We're going 130. Our V1 is about 150, and our rotation is about 160. And there we go. We just hit that perfectly. Right then. So first of all, hit our speed and altitude. Oops. Okay, that's fine. You just need to landing gear up. So we put auto heading on. Turns on autopilot. Everything is now in the game's control. That little beep you heard, I hope you can hear the beep. You should be able to. But yeah, that little beep you heard was just telling me that we're approaching a waypoint or something like that. Following a pretty decent line actually. So it tells us all our different information. So we've got our indicated airspeed and our ground speed. Our ground speed's always going to be higher than the indicated airspeed, unless you are on the ground, which is of course going to be your indicated airspeed. Very confusing. Basically, you can see at the moment we've got virtually no wind. That's really strange. You virtually always have wind. At the moment we have virtually no wind. I'm actually just going to quickly check for weather. Okay, so at the moment the surface weather is, you should have had an 8 knot wind at some point. Anyway, from about what's that? From about 2,500 feet. Oh no, we're above that now. Okay, so up until about 3,000 or 4,000 feet we will have absolutely no wind. And in fact, no, we have virtually no wind up until 7,000 feet. So yeah, there we go. Yeah, we have virtually no wind. How interesting. And if there was wind, it would be well, there is no wind, which is very strange. What means our airspeed isn't going to be as fast as it normally would be. It's really complicated to explain, but yeah. So our transition is 6,000. Let me just show you Flight Sim Commander quickly. So you'll lose audio just for a second. So Flight Sim Commander, here we go. So this here, where you can see that 1 nautical mile, that's when we reach our the top of our altitude. If I just show you this, you've possibly got, no, it doesn't matter. So up until here, here, sorry. So 3,000, then 9,000 when we hit this one here. So let me just quickly change that. I need to make sure that you guys can actually see it as well. So altitude is going to be at 9,000 feet. And we're going to hit that perfectly. So yeah. So pretty much now it's a very what is it? It was just very there's lots of action in this first part. So you can see here it comes up with what we're doing. So we passed this bit at 242 ground speed, and we're at 4,400 feet, and it does that for pretty much all the things. So you'll notice we've got different speeds and stuff as we pass the different waypoints. We're about to pass this one. No, we're not. We're not about to pass it, but we will pass it very soon. So pretty much we've got SID, but we haven't got a star. I believe I did say our SID. If I didn't, it was a Delta Papa Lemia 2 Papa SID. And that was our SID. Let me just show you. If I went to select, it was this SID here. That's the SID we had here. Oh no, that's. Oh, kilo. Oh, okay. I thought it was Papalemia. It's not, it's kilo. But anyway, that's the SID we had off runway 9. I believe there's ATC in Amsterdam. No, where we flying to? Brussels. There is ATC in Brussels, or at least there was, like when I looked, which was a long time ago. So, yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much that's like what we can. That's my map. That's what I'm using to view. So if I just put that thing up, like so, very nice indeed. So QNH. Let's just reset our altimeter. So let me just move that like that so I can see a bit more clearly. I'm going to resize OBS, so you're going to get some or muted sound if you like. There you go. Right, so at the moment we are ascending, or have we actually got to 9,000? Yes, we have. We are at 9,000. So yeah, at 9,000 feet we can actually now go to 250, which is our requested altitude, and it was accepted in this case. You can't always get your altitude accepted. It's very much depending on it's just very much depending on different air traffic, if they will accept your altitude. Sometimes you'll get a message back and it say your ceiling altitude must be 24,000 to 22,000, for example. This is an IFR flight, so because we're using instruments, so yeah, if we're using if it was VOR or visual, we would normally stay under 7,000, and that's pretty much a basic rule. This part of the UK is really nice. Of course, every part of the UK is nice, but yes, this part is very nice. So I am. Oh my god, I've got a really strange part here. Hang on. That is very strange. So I am currently looking at Flight Sim Commander, and for some reason it just wants us to do something very strange now. I'm not sure if that is because of like traffic or not. I'm just going to bring up my TCAS just in case it is. Stand by, right. No, we shouldn't have any aircraft, so I'm just going to leave it up anyway. You guys shouldn't be able to see it. No, you guys can't see it. You can look at all this information. Now, I'm actually going to leave this up for most of the flights. I will also disable it, though. So, let me run you through all these different instruments. Let me just set my Q&H air, and it's automatically set it now as soon as I click that. As you can see, it's now gone. So, currently at 12,000 feet, and we're climbing, or 12,800 feet. Our indicated airspeed is 220 knots. Our ground speed is 263 knots. That is like if we were a car or whatever. Our true heading is 051. Again, all because of the curvature of the Earth. Some of this stuff's fairly strange. Yeah, we still have no wind, which is really strange. Right? It's not like an issue with the sim, it's real weather. It just so happens that we have no wind today. This is our waypoint, so this is our next waypoint. So we can do a flyby or a flyover. Flyover means that we pretty much miss. If we were to be using ATC, this flyover is like it is like if you. It's a route discontinuity basically. It's a way of putting in a route discontinuity. You can change different waypoints. If we have no aircrafts, I am actually going to change to the next waypoint, which would be at that point. Let me have a look. So let me show you what I'm sort of not complaining about. It's just a little bit strange that we've got a right. So you can see here. So you can see that we've got a really strange route here, which I don't quite understand. So let me just check what waypoint that is going to be. So right. Let's have a look. So is this right? Well, so we're here, or we're going to be here. Oh, probably goes back to our airport. So yeah, I'm just going to have a look. So that's a really strange route there. On there. So let's remove that. There we go. So I don't know why that was put into the flight, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. It just was, and I have no idea why. So right, let's just go back to FSX. So yeah, I'm having to actually switch manually the different bits and pieces. Having to switch manually, that's why it takes a little bit more time. I'm sure I get a more sophisticated way at some point. But yeah. How long have we been flying for? That is what I want to know. 23 minutes. I'm actually going to pause the recording in just a second. Soon as we get to our cruising altitude, I'm actually going to pause. Let me just show you some nice sort of scenes from outside the aircraft, though. As it loads up. I think there we go. So, the reason why EasyDock actually has to load all this stuff, because to get better FPS, it's quite clever really, it doesn't load the whole aircraft, it literally only loads the cockpit, which is why if you've ever tried to look outside of the aircraft in cockpit mode, you'll notice that you've actually only got a cockpit and nothing else. That's how you get better FPS. So yeah, if you're just with an interesting fact, if you're wondering. So here we go. The Learjet 45. This is actually an add-on paint skin. I believe it is anyway. It's free, so I didn't have to pay for it. Very nice. You can see the coast of the UK just here. It's oh flipping out. What's it called? Is it Santander? I think it's Santander. Let me just check on the map. Okay, I'm not going to check for too long, otherwise I'm just going to annoy you guys with me trying to check an airport. But about there is, in fact no, it's not about there. Over there is I think it's Santander. God, I should know that airport. I fly there all the time on this sim, and I've lost the plate out. Here it is. So yeah, in the Learjet 45, just go through some of the beautiful views this plane has. It's pretty detailed. It's actually got some really nice sort of like sort of reflections and stuff. Really good. They've done a pretty good job. This is of course just a default Microsoft plane. It's nothing fancy. They sort of add-on stuff. Well, let's just believe that's meant to be more like that. So you've got the captains here. This is like a very luxury business jet. It's yeah, it's a very much a luxury aircraft. So these two sort of turbine jet engines, I think they're called. I've still got flaps up. I can now afford to take them up, which I completely forgot. I should have. This plane's not going that fast, so you know we're only going what, 170 knots. Interesting. Just check our speed here. Very odd indeed. Anyway, this is actually, so this is the time it will take to get to our next waypoint, 5 minutes. And this is the time it's going to take us to get to Brussels, as we now speed up again now. Oh, of course we are climbing as well, that's another factor. We're not going overly fast. Of course we're miles past the 10,000, anything under 10,000 of course we'd have to be at 250 or below. So anyway, this is a fantastic little plane, and be sure to watch the next part where I will be showing you as we approach the top of our descent and the landing. Thank you for watching guys, and goodbye.